Most people go through life believing they need someone else to complete them. They rely on validation from friends, approval from society, or comfort from relationships. And when those things are taken away, they feel lost, as if they're nothing on their own. But what if I told you that the greatest strength, the deepest sense of freedom, comes when you no longer need anyone? When you become self-sufficient, not just financially or physically, but emotionally, mentally and spiritually, you unlock a level of independence that no one can take from you. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that true power lies in self-mastery, in the ability to stand strong, whether surrounded by people or completely alone. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man should be upright, not kept upright. Your foundation should not be built on others, it should be built on you." In this episode, we'll dive into the core principles of Stoicism that will help you break free from external dependence, become your own source of strength, and cultivate an unshakable sense of self-reliance. By the end, you'll see that when you master these lessons, you won't need anyone, because everything you seek, you will find within yourself. Let's begin with the first principle. Learn to be your own best companion. How comfortable are you in your own company? Can you sit alone in silence without reaching for distractions? Can you go through a tough day without needing someone else to lift you up? Most people can't. They fill their lives with noise, people, and endless external validation because they haven't learned how to be their own best companion. But here's the truth. If you can't enjoy your own company, why would anyone else? The idea of self-sufficiency is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom isn't found in wealth, status, or relationships. It's found in mastering your mind and emotions. When you cultivate inner stability, you no longer depend on others for happiness, security, or fulfillment. So, how do you become your own best companion? First, embrace solitude. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's power. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with isolation, but the Stoics saw solitude as a place of growth. Seneca wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Learn to spend time with yourself without feeling restless. Read, reflect, and strengthen your inner world. Second, engage in deep self-reflection. The Stoics practiced a form of self-auditing every day. Marcus Aurelius would write in his journal, analyzing his thoughts, actions, and emotions. This isn't about self-criticism, it's about self-awareness. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What could I have handled better? What am I still relying on others for that I should be handling myself? These questions will help you understand where you need to grow. Next, develop self-sufficiency in small ways. If you feel uncomfortable eating alone at a restaurant, do it anyway. If you always reach for your phone when you're by yourself, put it away. If you rely on others for emotional reassurance, start comforting yourself. These small acts build the foundation of independence. Also, cultivate personal interests. Many people attach their sense of self to their relationships. When those relationships change, they feel empty. But when you have personal passions, whether it's writing, fitness, learning, or meditation, you always have something that brings you fulfillment, no matter who comes or goes in your life. Finally, stop waiting for others to entertain, support, or rescue you. You are your own responsibility. You are your own greatest ally. The sooner you realize that, the stronger you become. Marcus Aurelius put it best. Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look. Once you master this, you stop fearing solitude. You stop seeking approval. You stop needing anyone to make you feel whole, because you are already enough. 2. Master the art of saying no. How often do you say yes when you really want to say no? How many times have you agreed to things that drained your energy just to avoid disappointing someone? Most people struggle with this because they fear rejection, conflict, or being seen as selfish. But here's the reality. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to yourself. The Stoics understood that boundaries are essential for a strong and independent life. They believed that self-discipline and inner control were far more valuable than external approval. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." In other words, if you don't set your own direction, others will do it for you. If you want to be free, if you want to truly need no one, you must master the art of saying no. So how do you do that? First, recognize that saying no is an act of self-respect. Many people associate saying no with being rude or unkind, but Marcus Aurelius reminds us, a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value. If you value your time, energy, and peace, then protecting them is not selfish, it's necessary. When you say no to things that drain you, you create space for things that empower you. Second, understand that you are not responsible for others' reactions. A lot of people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others. But Epictetus teaches, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Not everyone will like your boundaries, and that's okay. Your job is not to please everyone. Your job is to live in alignment with what is best for you. Third, practice saying no with confidence. Many people say no in a hesitant, apologetic way, which makes them more likely to be pressured into changing their minds. Instead, say no directly and firmly. You don't need an elaborate excuse. A simple, "No, I can't commit to that," or "I have other priorities right now," is enough. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Fourth, protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Think about how easily people waste hours, days, or even years doing things they don't want to do because they're afraid to say no. But time is the one thing you can never get back. If you want to live a strong, independent life, treat your time as sacred. Before saying yes to anything, ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Will this bring me peace, progress, or purpose? If the answer is no, then your response should be no as well. Fifth, detach from guilt. Many people feel guilt when they start setting boundaries, but guilt is just a habit. The more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes. And here's something to remember. The people who truly respect you will respect your boundaries. The ones who don't, they were never truly on your side to begin with. Finally, remind yourself that every no to something unimportant is a yes to something meaningful. The Stoics believed in focusing on what truly matters. Every unnecessary commitment, every draining relationship, every meaningless obligation you remove from your life makes room for growth, peace, and freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The same goes for obligations. If something doesn't serve you, revoke its power over your life. Once you master the art of saying no, you take back control. You stop feeling pulled in 1,000 directions. You stop living on other people's terms. You become more focused, more powerful, and ultimately, more free. 3. Build unshakable self-confidence. Most people think confidence is something you're born with, a trait reserved for the naturally gifted or extroverted. But the truth is, confidence is built, not given. It's a result of how you think, how you act, and how you talk to yourself every single day. If you feel like you lack confidence, it's not because you're incapable. It's because you haven't trained your mind to believe in your own strength. And that's something you can change, starting now. Confidence isn't about arrogance or thinking you're better than others. It's about having a quiet, steady belief in yourself, even when no one else does. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, confidence isn't about proving yourself to others. It's about being so focused on your own growth that you no longer care about their judgments. If you want to build unshakable self-confidence, the first thing you must do is stop seeking external validation. Too many people tie their confidence to what others think of them. If they receive praise, they feel good. If they face criticism, they crumble. But here's a simple truth. The moment your confidence depends on other people, you have already lost control. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True confidence comes when you no longer need approval because you know who you are. The second step is to change how you talk to yourself. Most people destroy their own confidence before the world even gets a chance to. They tell themselves, "I can't do this," "I'm not good enough," or "I'll fail." If you wouldn't say those words to a friend, why say them to yourself? The Stoics practiced mental discipline, not just in action, but in thought. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Train yourself to think in a way that supports you, not limits you. Instead of, "I'm bad at this," say, "I'm improving every day." Instead of, "I don't belong here," say, "I deserve my place, and I will prove it to myself." Your brain listens to what you repeat, so repeat what builds you up. The third step is to take action, even before you feel ready. Confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Many people wait until they feel confident before taking action, but the truth is, confidence is built through action. You don't become a strong speaker by waiting until you feel fearless. You become fearless by speaking. You don't gain confidence in your abilities by hesitating. You gain confidence by trying, failing, learning, and improving. Every small action you take strengthens the belief that you're capable. Another crucial step is to embrace failure as part of growth. Most people lack confidence because they fear failing, but the Stoics saw failure differently. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show what men are." Therefore, when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man. Every setback, every mistake, every challenge is like a weight at the gym. It strengthens you. The only way to build confidence is to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. Finally, carry yourself with confidence before you feel it. Your posture, voice, and body language send signals to your brain. If you slump your shoulders, avoid eye contact, and hesitate in your movements, your mind follows that pattern. But when you stand tall, make eye contact, and move with certainty, your brain starts to believe it. Act confident, and confidence will follow. Confidence isn't given. It's earned through mindset, self-discipline, and action. And when you build it from within, no one can take it away from you. You won't need anyone to reassure you, to lift you up, or to tell you that you're capable, because you'll already know. 4. The power of solitude, finding answers within. Most people fear solitude. They see being alone as a sign of loneliness, as if their worth depends on constant validation from others. But what if I told you that solitude is not your enemy? It's your greatest source of strength? The ability to sit with yourself, undistracted, is a superpower few people cultivate. Yet, the Stoics knew that true wisdom, clarity and self-mastery come from within, not from the noise of the world. Seneca wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." If you want to reach a level of independence where you no longer need anyone, you must embrace the power of solitude. Solitude isn't about isolation, it's about reflection. When was the last time you spent time alone without distractions? No phone, no music, no conversations, just you and your thoughts. Most people avoid this because they're afraid of what they might find. They fill every moment with noise, scrolling endlessly, constantly seeking stimulation. But the truth is, until you can sit with your own mind in stillness, you will always be dependent on something outside of you for comfort. When you cultivate solitude, you start to hear yourself more clearly. You notice your thought patterns, your desires, and your fears without external influence. You begin to understand what truly matters to you, rather than what society has told you should matter. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, reminding himself, people seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, in the mountains. But nowhere can a man find a retreat more peaceful or free from trouble than his own soul. The greatest wisdom isn't found in seeking answers from others. It's found in asking yourself the right questions. So how do you harness the power of solitude? First, schedule time for it. Just like you set aside time for work, exercise or socializing, set aside time for being alone. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can shift your entire mindset. Sit in silence, go for a walk without distractions, or simply observe your thoughts without judgment. Second, use solitude to strengthen your mind. The Stoics practiced journaling as a way to refine their thoughts and emotions. Before the world influences you each morning, write down what's on your mind. Ask yourself, what am I working toward? What challenges do I need to prepare for? What kind of person do I want to be today? These simple questions force you to engage with your own thoughts rather than being swept up in external distractions. Third, turn solitude into a tool for growth. Use this time to sharpen your skills, to read, to challenge your mind. Most people avoid solitude because they associate it with boredom, but boredom is simply an untrained mind craving distraction. Train your mind to thrive in solitude, and you will become unshakable. And here's something most people don't realize. Your ability to be alone determines the quality of your relationships. If you fear solitude, you'll cling to people out of need rather than choice. You'll tolerate toxic relationships just to avoid being alone. But when you master solitude, you stop relying on others for happiness. Instead, you choose people based on genuine connection, not dependency. Solitude is where you find clarity. It's where you build inner peace. It's where you become your own greatest source of strength. The world will always be noisy, full of opinions, distractions, and external pressures. But when you know how to retreat within yourself, nothing outside of you can shake your foundation. And when you reach that point, you realize something powerful. You never needed anyone to begin with. You only needed yourself, fully present, fully aware, fully in control. 5. Be your own hero. Stop waiting to be saved. Most people go through life waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone to recognize their worth, waiting for a mentor, a partner, a friend, someone to rescue them from their struggles. But here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll realize the only person you've ever needed is you. The Stoics believed that strength comes from self-reliance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You must build up your own mind and not be dependent on outside help." Yet so many people waste years hoping for a savior when they should be saving themselves. Think about it. How much time have you spent hoping someone else would fix your problems? A boss recognizing your hard work, a friend offering the right advice, a relationship making you feel whole. But what happens when no one comes? That's when you have two choices: sink into self-pity or rise up and take control. Becoming your own hero starts with one decision: stop waiting and start acting. If you're waiting for the right moment to chase your dreams, create it. If you're waiting for someone to motivate you, push yourself. If you're waiting for life to get easier, it won't. So become stronger instead. Epictetus taught, "How long will you wait before you demand the best of yourself? The world owes you nothing, and the only way forward is through your own effort." The second step is to stop expecting others to complete you. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that a relationship, a friendship, or a mentor will fill the gaps in their lives. But the Stoics remind us that true fulfillment comes from within. Seneca wrote, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. If you rely on others for happiness, you give them control over your emotions. But when you cultivate inner strength, you take that power back." Next, develop unshakable resilience. Life will test you. You will face setbacks, betrayals, and disappointments. That's inevitable. But how you respond to those challenges is entirely within your control. The Stoics believed that hardship was the forge that shapes character. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I grow from this?" Every obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more self-reliant. Also, take full responsibility for your life. No more blaming circumstances, no more excuses, no more waiting. Your failures, own them. Your growth, pursue it relentlessly. When you take full responsibility, you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start acting as the hero of your own story. Finally, commit to self-discipline. A hero isn't just someone who acts in the moment. They are someone who trains for battle every day. That battle could be against laziness, doubt, fear, or complacency. Build habits that strengthen you. Wake up early. Train your body and mind. Push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Every disciplined act is another step toward your own salvation. No one is coming to save you, and that is the most liberating realization you can have. Because once you stop waiting, you start doing. And when you take full ownership of your life, you realize something powerful. You were your own hero all along. 6. Free yourself from toxic relationships and limiting beliefs. Nothing weighs a person down more than the wrong people and the wrong mindset. You cannot live freely, think clearly, or grow fully when your energy is constantly drained by toxic relationships and limiting beliefs. If you want to reach a point where you don't need anyone, you must first remove the people and thoughts that make you feel like you can't stand on your own. The Stoics were ruthless in their pursuit of inner peace. Epictetus warned, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." But most people do the opposite. They hold on to relationships that exhaust them out of fear, guilt, or comfort. They entertain friendships that drain their energy, stay in jobs that crush their spirit, and maintain connections that serve no real purpose other than habit. But here's the truth. If someone is costing you your peace, they are too expensive to keep in your life. Toxic relationships come in many forms. Some people constantly criticize you, making you doubt yourself. Others use you for their benefit, draining your time and energy without giving anything back. And then there are those who pretend to support you, yet subtly undermine your growth because they fear being left behind. The Stoics would tell you this: you owe nothing to those who hinder your progress. You don't have to justify walking away from people who refuse to respect you, value you, or support your journey. But the greatest chains aren't just external, they're internal. Your limiting beliefs are just as toxic as any person in your life. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," you are your own worst enemy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What you believe about yourself determines your reality. If you believe you are weak, you will act weak. If you believe you are capable, you will push forward no matter the obstacles. So, how do you free yourself from these toxic influences? First, evaluate every relationship in your life. Ask yourself, does this person add value to my life, or do they take more than they give? If someone constantly drains you, belittles you, or brings negativity into your space, distance yourself. You do not have to make a dramatic exit. Just step back, reduce interactions, and redirect your energy to those who uplift you. Second, rewrite your beliefs about yourself. Every time you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought, "I can't do this," "I always fail," "I'm not good enough," stop. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on reality, or is it something I've been conditioned to believe? Then replace it with a stronger belief. Train your mind to support you rather than work against you. Next, set boundaries and enforce them. The moment you start demanding respect for your time, energy, and peace, you'll see who truly respects you. Some people will try to test your limits. Stay firm. Those who value you will adapt. Those who don't will remove themselves, and that's exactly what needs to happen. And finally, be ruthless in protecting your peace. Walk away from gossip, from negativity, from anything that does not align with the person you are becoming. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what you can control, and you can control who you allow into your life and what beliefs you allow into your mind. Let go of toxic people. Erase limiting beliefs. Free yourself from anything that holds you back. Because once you do, you'll realize something. You were never weak. You were just surrounded by the wrong energy. 7. True independence comes at a cost. Are you ready? Everyone wants freedom, but few are willing to pay the price for it. True independence, the kind where you don't need anyone, where you rely only on yourself, comes at a cost. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and a willingness to walk alone when necessary. Most people say they want to be self-sufficient, yet they cling to comfort, approval, and external validation. The question is, are you truly ready to pay the price of independence? The Stoics believed that nothing valuable comes without effort. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Independence is earned, not given. It is forged in discomfort, in the moments when you push yourself beyond what is easy and convenient. The first cost of independence is detachment from external approval. If your confidence rises and falls based on what others think of you, you're not free. You are a prisoner of their opinions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Living for others' approval means you never truly live for yourself. To be independent, you must let go of the need to be liked, understood, or validated. The second cost is embracing discomfort. Most people seek comfort, but comfort breeds dependency. Independence means being okay with uncertainty, with discomfort, with doing things that challenge you. It means waking up early to build your skills, working harder when no one is watching, and training your mind to be resilient. Epictetus taught, "Difficulties show what men are." Therefore, when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a tough opponent. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can stand on your own. Another cost is walking alone when necessary. True independence means you will not always have a support system. There will be times when no one encourages you, when no one understands your journey, when you have to move forward without a safety net. Most people give up at this stage because they fear loneliness. But here's a Stoic truth. Solitude is where strength is built. It's where you find out who you really are without the influence of others. Independence also requires self-discipline. You cannot rely on motivation. It fades. You must build habits that push you forward even when you don't feel like it. Whether it's your health, finances, mindset, or goals, being independent means taking full responsibility for every area of your life. No more excuses, no more waiting. Seneca said, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Independence means acting now, not later. Finally, the greatest cost of independence is accepting full accountability for your life. No more blaming circumstances, people, or luck. No more waiting for the right moment. If something is wrong, fix it. If you are not where you want to be, change it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Everything you need is already within you, but only if you are willing to claim it." Independence is not easy. It is not for the weak. But if you are willing to embrace its cost, you will gain something far greater, freedom. And once you have that, no one can take it from you. 8. Your happiness is yours alone. Own it. Too many people spend their lives chasing happiness in all the wrong places. They believe happiness comes from relationships, financial success, recognition, or external achievements. And when these things don't go as planned, or worse, when they lose them, they feel empty, as if life has no meaning. But here's the truth. Happiness is not something you find outside of yourself. It's something you build within. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." Yet most people tie their happiness to things outside their control. What others think of them, how much money they have, or whether life is going according to plan. This is why they suffer. But when you realize that your happiness is entirely up to you, you take back control of your life. So, how do you own your happiness? First, detach from external outcomes. Life is unpredictable. Success and failure, love and loss, highs and lows, they will all come and go. If your happiness depends on things staying a certain way, you will always live in fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True happiness comes from mastering your thoughts, not controlling circumstances. Second, stop expecting others to make you happy. Many people believe a relationship, friendship, or social status will complete them, but the Stoics remind us that you are complete as you are. Expecting someone else to be responsible for your happiness is the fastest way to disappointment. Instead, focus on building a life that fulfills you independently. Pursue personal growth, cultivate meaningful habits, and develop a strong sense of self. When you do this, you no longer need anyone to complete you. You simply choose the right people to complement your life. Next, train your mind to focus on the present. One of the biggest reasons people feel unhappy is that they either dwell on the past or worry about the future. But Seneca warned against this. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. If you are constantly regretting what happened or fearing what might happen, you are robbing yourself of the only moment that matters, the present. Train yourself to be fully engaged in the now. Another key step is to practice gratitude daily. Most people focus on what they lack rather than what they have. But gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of thinking, "I'll be happy when I have more money, more success, more love," start thinking, "I am grateful for what I have, and I am working toward even greater things." This simple shift changes everything. When you appreciate the present, you stop chasing happiness and start living it. And finally, understand that happiness is a practice, not a destination. There is no perfect moment in the future where everything falls into place and suddenly you feel fulfilled. Happiness is built daily through the way you think, the way you act, and the way you choose to perceive life. It's not about waiting for better days. It's about making today better. The moment you take full ownership of your happiness, you become untouchable. No external failure, rejection, or loss can shake you. You stop relying on people, circumstances, or luck to dictate your emotions. You realize that happiness was never something to be found. It was something to be chosen all along. And when you truly understand this, you won't need anyone to make you happy, because you will have already given that power to yourself. 9. How to stay strong when everything falls apart. Life will test you. At some point, you will lose people, face unexpected failures, and experience moments where everything seems to be falling apart. Most people crumble under pressure, searching for someone to lean on, waiting for a savior to fix their problems. But the strongest people, the ones who don't need anyone, are those who know how to stand firm when everything around them is collapsing. The Stoics were masters of resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The message is clear. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond. When life gets difficult, you have two choices. Let it break you, or let it shape you. So how do you stay strong when everything around you is falling apart? First, accept reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Many people suffer more because they resist reality. They think, "This shouldn't be happening," or "Why me?" But fighting against reality only creates more pain. Instead, train yourself to say, "This is what's happening. Now, how will I respond?" Epictetus advised, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish for them to happen as they do, and you will find peace." Strength comes from facing life head-on, without illusion or denial. Second, develop an unshakable mindset. Most people think strength is physical, but true strength is mental. If you train your mind to handle adversity, no external event can break you. This is why Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined worst-case scenarios so they would be mentally prepared for anything. Try this. Visualize a difficult challenge you could face. Then picture yourself handling it with calmness and control. This simple exercise builds resilience before hardship even arrives. Next, detach from what you can't control. Many people waste their energy worrying about things outside their influence, what others think, what the future holds, whether things will get better. But the Stoics remind us that worrying about the uncontrollable is a pointless battle. Instead, focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? That's where your power lies. Another key principle: use hardship as fuel for growth. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Every struggle is training for something greater. Also, lean into discipline when emotions try to take over. When life is chaotic, your mind will want to spiral into fear, anger, or self-pity. But discipline is your anchor. Stick to your routines, train your body, read, reflect, and continue working toward your goals, even in hardship. The more disciplined you are, the less external events can shake you. Finally, understand that nothing lasts forever, not success, not failure, not suffering. When things are bad, remember, this too shall pass. Everything in life is temporary. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. No matter what happens, you still have now, and what you do with it determines everything. Strength is not about never falling, it's about getting back up every time. When you learn to stay strong without needing someone else to hold you up, you become unstoppable. Nothing can break you, nothing can shake you, because your power comes from within, and that is something no one can take from you. 10. Become everything you need. No one else can do it for you. At the core of true independence lies one ultimate realization. You are responsible for yourself, your happiness, your success, your peace, your strength. No one else can give you what you lack. No one else can fix what is broken inside you. No one else can complete you, because you are already whole. The moment you truly understand this, you become unstoppable. You become everything you need. Most people go through life waiting for the right partner to make them feel loved, waiting for friends to support them, waiting for society to recognize their worth. But Marcus Aurelius warned against this mindset, writing, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." Everything you seek is already inside you. You don't need someone else to make you feel valuable. You only need to recognize your own worth. Becoming everything you need starts with emotional self-sufficiency. If your happiness depends on how others treat you, you are not free. You are a prisoner to their moods, their actions, their presence. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from mastering your own emotions. Epictetus taught, "If you are ever disturbed, do not blame anyone except yourself, for it is within you to find peace. If someone leaves, if someone disappoints you, if life doesn't go as planned, you must be able to stand on your own." It also requires self-discipline. No one will build your life for you. No one will make you stronger. No one will force you to grow. That is your responsibility. Strength comes from doing what must be done, even when no one is watching. Wake up early, take care of your body, train your mind, read, learn, and develop skills that make you independent. Weak people make excuses, strong people take action. Seneca reminds us, life is long if you know how to use it. Use your time wisely. Another key to self-reliance is financial independence. If you depend on others for survival, whether it's a job you hate, a partner who supports you, or a family that funds your life, you are not fully free. Work towards self-sufficiency, save, invest, create multiple streams of income. Build a life where you choose what to do, rather than being forced into decisions because of financial dependency. But the most important step, trust yourself completely. Too many people doubt their own ability to stand alone. They think, I need guidance, I need validation, I need support. But you are stronger than you think. You have survived every challenge life has thrown at you so far. You have overcome pain, disappointment, and loss, and you are still here. That means you are capable. That means you already have everything you need inside of you. You just have to trust it. The Stoics believed in ultimate self-reliance because they understood a simple truth. No one can live your life for you. No one else will fight your battles. No one else will walk your path. That is yours alone. And when you finally take full responsibility for yourself, your emotions, your actions, your success, you become unstoppable. At that moment you realize you never needed anyone to complete you. You were already complete. You just needed to recognize it. And now you do. The path to true independence is not easy. It requires self-discipline, resilience, and the ability to stand strong even when you are alone. The Stoics taught us that the only person we ever truly need is ourselves. And when you embrace that, you become unshakable. You no longer fear solitude, rejection, or failure because you have built yourself into someone who can handle anything. You don't need anyone to save you. You don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need anyone to complete you. Everything you need is already within you. Own it. If this episode resonated with you, leave a comment below and let me know which lesson stood out the most. And if you're ready to continue strengthening your mind with Stoic wisdom, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread these life-changing ideas to more people. Until next time, stand strong, think clearly, and remember, you are enough.